this is Juliana Avdeeva here. Tonight a little bit earlier than usual, but for that from a very special place. So this is the F minor Prelude and Fugue from Book 2, Johann Sebastian Bach. And why I have decided to start with it this time, because this place, this building, these walls almost, where I am right now, are the first place where I have played this Prelude and Fugue many, many years ago. I assume it will be around 20 years ago. So tonight I'm so happy to send you my wishes and greet you from Moscow, from the building of the place which I really can call my second home, a place which used to be my second home for many, many years, for 13 years. So this is the special music school Gnesin, where I have studied piano and everything else. So I'm so delighted to be here tonight and say hello to everyone all over the world from Moscow, from the special music school called after Gnesin. Yes, Jov, you are absolutely right. This is the Gnesin State Musical College, which had another name at the time when I was studying here. But this is indeed a very moving moment to me, to be very, very honest. Yes, because I came here to Moscow and somehow I felt this great desire to come here, to come to the place which meant so much to me. So that was 1990 as I have entered this building for the first time. And yeah, I was 5 years old by then, and I had some kind of examination, I assume, and that was the first time that I have met my teacher, Elena Ivanova, who I just saw outside in the in the entrance of the building. Then I went to her classroom where she still teaches, and that was a very moving moment to me, as you can imagine, because yes, so that was 1919 as I have started my studies here, so I was 5 years old, and Elena Petrovna, Elena Ivanova, my teacher, she became like a family member to me, you know, because I assumed that I was spending more time here at the school, more time than I was spending at home. Because, you know, what is really amazing about the school is that every other it's not only musical subjects which are being taught here, it is also everything else, so like grammar or algebra, so everything is let's say, is taking place, the studies are taking place at one building, which is, of course, absolutely amazing for kids, but also for parents, that they do not have to bring kids all over. So that was one place, so I was coming here every morning and leaving very late in the evening, and yeah, sometimes six times a week. And yeah, this building, for me, of course, yeah, it feels like coming home in a way. You know, this house, because it's in the very center of Moscow. It's a very beautiful building, and it was closed for renovation for some years. And I think that was 5 or 6 years ago, or 6 years ago, that they have reopened. And at the beginning, I was a little bit scared because I thought, maybe the new building and the old spirit, you know, that might be lost and everything. And then I was so amazed, so relieved and so happy, because the spirit remained absolutely the same. So the feeling when I entered, I know where I am. The main building looks exactly the same as it used to be, just newer, as it used to look as it looked like 30 years ago. I just can't believe that it was 30 years ago that I first entered this place. That's really amazing. Well, however, yes, I was amazed by this, that the spirit remained the same. And you know, I have, let's say, schoolmates is not the right word, but many great pianists or basically musicians have been educated in this school. Evgeny Kisin was also studying here, as well as Boris Berezovsky, Daniel Trifonov, so many and many others. So we were all coming here, we were all studying here and really enjoying a great education, but also great personal approach from the teachers. And I still remember most of my teachers, also in other, I mean, Elena Petrovna anyway, but also other teachers by name, because they were somehow very special moments. Yes, and this year the school will be celebrating its 75th birthday, which is amazing. And it means that, yes, that the school indeed is flourishing. I mean, it's great to see this, you know, also very modern equipment here in the school, new piano. So that you see, I saw some comment that you have noticed the Fazioli piano. Indeed, there is also other instruments here, many Steinways, but also Yamaha, and it is indeed very, yeah, I think it's a great combination, you know, that the values of the tradition, that the values from the past combined with the modern approach, with the modern technique, with everything what is connected to the also to the future and to the present time. I think it's a great combination. So for me, it was indeed really very touching to see Elena Petrovna first, and that's why I decided to start with the amazing F minor Prelude and Fugue from Book 2, because it felt like it would be a very natural start for me, because, as I said, this was the piece which I have played here. It was many years ago. But, and of course, my understanding of the piece, to be honest, also have changed a little bit. Well, I think that this F minor Prelude and Fugue is really very, it's just great music, because it's already, despite the tonality, the key F minor, it is somehow very, it's composed in a completely different mood than, let's say, the F minor from the first book. I feel here for sure very much the orchestral influence already, because it is like you can orchestrate this prelude and also the fugue. The prelude is, I think that it's already from the very beginning has this very, in a way, this lamenting intonations, this one. But it's not, it still has this great spirit of Bach, you know, with this amazing nobility. What I really found out for me, this is really my very personal opinion about this, is that I feel this very strong connection to Beethoven's music in this particular set of Prelude and Fugue. So the first one is appearing in the very beginning of the Prelude. So in the left hand, we'll say bassoon. If I would be a composer, I would say that would be bassoon. So what is it? You know the motive. Sounds a little bit like Eroica, right? Well, this is my, that was the thought somehow which came to my mind as I just started playing the left hand separate. Then we have again, if we orchestrated this very beautifully. So this is already more, maybe like something like flute or something like this. So completely different thing. And here you can also, I think it's very interesting, Prelude also to try out some ornamentation, especially in the repeats, because both sections are repeated, should be repeated twice. And this is somehow still it's very gentle music, which is again, in a way, although in the key of F minor, connected with the topic of our, or let's say with the idea of our stream tonight, or direction, is about spring music, and this gentle gentle approach somehow, which I feel very much in this prelude, maybe a little bit already is looking to that direction. The fugue is absolutely, again, a masterpiece. I will show you. We were talking, I was saying that it reminds me, I see that Cookie Mean is saying, suddenly reminding me the first sonata of Beethoven in F minor. Absolutely, and I will tell you also my personal association here. We have tira-pa-pam, tira-dam-pam-pam. What does it remind me of? If I play. For me, it sounds very much like the idea or the character. The idea is very much reminding me on Beethoven Third Piano Concerto, last movement, or also maybe because it still has both these movements. The last movement of First Brahms Piano Concerto is also composed in a 2/4 bar, and the movement, we have this the upbeat and the notes, which are the 8 notes, which are played for me absolutely on a string instrument. In this case, on the violin. And this fugue is for me an absolutely instrumental piece. Might be because it is in 3 voices. And the structure of it is not so complicated, so it can be, for me, I can imagine that it could be indeed a movement of instrumental concerto, because here's this kind of sections. For me, very clear, the string instrument, or two violins. Two violins. Daniel is asking, did Beethoven ever admit the impulse? I think so. Well, it would be actually very strange if he would not, right? Because there are indeed many things, especially in contrapoint, which Beethoven also studied with Haydn, and Haydn was indeed very demanding on studying also the Baroque contrapoint and also Bach. So I think, well, for me, it gives some new ideas both for the fugue, because having heard and performed Beethoven's Third Piano Concerto and knowing the sound of the string orchestra, it's somehow easier to orchestrate it and to feel what it is about. And with the knowledge of this fugue, it will be easier to work on the Third Piano Concerto by Beethoven, especially on his last movement. But to be honest, the last movement of Third C minor Beethoven was always, for me, was absolutely Baroque style, also because of this, because of this clear solo piano orchestra coordination, because it has somehow this really Baroque spirit, but already in a very modern language, musical language of Beethoven, with complete, of course, with new harmonies, with different thoughts. So this F minor, I'm glad to perform it for you, or to have performed it for you here, because it is, again, the place where I have worked on it or performed it also on an exam. So every half a year I had to perform an examination here at the school to prepare a special program, mostly also consisting of one Bach piece, then some classical sonata or movement from the sonata, some studies. You might remember my admiration to studies and scales. Scales, that was a separate examination. Well, you can probably, by now you definitely know that I have well, scales is just not my favorite thing to play. But however, that was all here, and yeah, it's just to be honest, it's really wonderful to have such a teacher like Elena Petrovna Ivanova, and because when I see her and she sees me, she knows my hands, she knows what she has to tell me. I can always play for her if I need some advice or something, and I know that she will respond very openly if she likes something, or maybe she doesn't, and if I should try out something else, and always give me, because she still knows so well what she needs to tell me, and this is a very trustful relationship, which I really so much, which means so much to me, and yeah, I'm still, I have so many great memories about the school, because of course most of my friends are coming from also, I have met them here, and with many of them I'm still in touch, and they are still my best friends, and it is somehow very, especially at this time, I mean, it gives me so much energy and so much strength to be here and to charge, in a way, the positive energy by thinking and feeling the very special spirit of this place. So now it's actually very funny, because here in Moscow, of course, the spring is not as advantaged as it is advanced as it is in Central Europe, but I was very moved also to read many comments of you who are coming from other parts of the world, reminding me that not everywhere is spring right now. So I really appreciate that, and again the variety of, actually there are, you see, what I felt by reading that is that there are so many special places in the world, and no one place is similar to each other, and this is indeed what I think is really great about our world, that there are so many different places, different climates, different types of weather, different types of culture, tradition, nations. And still we can share our experiences with each other, we respect each other, and we have so different thoughts on the same subject. And it is very enriching for me to read so many comments of yours, and this is also was something what moved me so much in our celebration party video, which meant so much to me. So first of all, thank you all who participated, who practiced, who prepared, who recorded, and I thank you so much for that, because you have also shared your music with me, which means a lot to me. And that was really a great moment to see us all, first of all, to have faces to the names, which I have read every Thursday or every week since more than 1 year, that finally I know how you look like. That was a very moving moment to see how you sit on the piano, how you enjoy. I felt that you were enjoying playing piano, and that's something what I appreciate, and thank you so much. And that was very, indeed, so moving moment. So thanks a lot for the nocturne, for the recording. I see that Jeff is saying that he's continuing working on it. That's absolutely great. I'm very happy, and I'm sure that will discover every day when you practice it, you will discover new things in the pieces which you play. That's something amazing about music, that there is never, you can never say, oh, I know everything about the piece. No, it's always, I always discover something new in it, and it's absolutely never-ending process that makes it so amazing. Yes, so this celebration party, birthday party, was absolutely great of you to participate, and thanks a lot. Well done. Thank you. Well, now coming again to the spring, I was saying that it is not a really spring weather here yet, although it is already, it's above zero. And it's not so cold as I actually expected, but anyway, I thought that somehow it would be a good, my personal association, of course, with the spring is also connected with the Seasons by Tchaikovsky, of course, and I know that many of you also had the vision of April, of the April piece from the season. Actually, I'm very surprised that, well, Annelies was also talking about April and May by Tchaikovsky from the seasons. Jim was saying Piano Concerto number 1 by Tchaikovsky, which is actually indeed, somehow indeed very, I don't know, it's maybe the different part of spring, but I perfectly understand what you mean. Gabriel was suggesting Waltz of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky, so Tchaikovsky is indeed somehow very a composer who is coming up to the mind in a connection with the spring. Of course, Stravinsky is also has been mentioned quite often. Flores was saying Rite of Spring by Stravinsky is the best piece. It is indeed a very, very impressive piece. Then P.F. Severin was saying Liebesfreude by Rachmaninoff-Kreisler. Indeed, an interesting option as well. So the Russian composers somehow, probably, it's interesting that many of you feel that some Russian pieces, especially by Tchaikovsky, of course, are connected with the spring, which is for me a very interesting idea. And it is actually, that's what I mean. For me, it's really very interesting to hear your thoughts about this, because sometimes they are completely different, your thoughts, and that's why they are so, the value of them is so high to me. So my personal feeling was April, and the seasons, of course, is anyway for me one of my favorite Tchaikovsky cycles. And Tchaikovsky, Tchaikovsky composed this cycle actually between 1875 and 1876. It was a commissioned piece by a journal novelist in St. Petersburg. And so Tchaikovsky was commissioned to compose a cycle of 12 pieces with the name, for one piece for each month of the year. That's why the season, and apparently also the names of the title of each piece have been also already provided and not originally composed or suggested by Tchaikovsky. And somehow the cycle, I think, is very, very, very charming, basically, because the pieces, indeed, they are so. Some of them are more simple, some of them are more complicated, but they are so, in their natural musicality, in this natural expression, they are absolutely, absolutely great. Have you actually heard the seasons in a concert, or which recording do you like with the seasons by Tchaikovsky. I personally had an amazing experience hearing Radu Lupu live performing the Seasons by Tchaikovsky a couple of years ago, and that was absolutely amazing because he had his expression, his sound, first of all, was so rich. It was so different in you know, in the small phrases. They were like breathing. They were so natural. They were so amazingly musically played, and that was a very strong moment which I experienced with the Seasons, and it will remain. It's a couple of years ago already that I heard him playing it, and that was indeed an absolutely magical, really magical moment for me. Daniel is saying Richter and Igor Zhukov, Radu Lupu, Kuki Min is saying yes. That's and Richter, of course, is a great native. Is also saying I found Richter playing them nice, but then there is room for freedom in those pieces. It's difficult. This makes this music actually also so because it's many pieces are very well known, like April, for instance, but they are not easy to play somehow because I don't know. You know, you expect also something from yourself playing it. You expect something really outstanding because it's so known. But it's, I think, the right feeling is still to search for the beauty in this music, and it exists. There are also some beautiful epigraph for the April. It is written by Maykov. I will read it first in Russian, and then I will read it in English. It's very short. So the epigraph is saying: «Голубенький чистый подснежник, цветок, а подле сквозистый последний снежок. Последние слезы о горе былом и первые грезы о счастье ином». So this is the epigraph for the Snowdrop, is the second title of April. And in English, the translation is the blue, pure snowdrop flower, and near it the last snowdrops. The last tears over past griefs and first dreams of another happiness. So it is, in a way, even somehow, it's not so happy, by the way, right? I mean, if there's the last tears over past griefs. Maybe it's about the winter time, or maybe it's about some experiences which you would like to leave behind. But anyway, it's about this wonder. For me, to be honest, the spring is connected with wonder, and snowdrop is a little flower coming out of the snow. And this is the first, let's have sign of life after the cold winter. So it is. Yeah, it's somehow, for me, indeed connected with the magic of the reborn after the cold winter. So I will play this piece, April, from these Seasons, the Snowdrops, Подснежник, by Tchaikovsky for you. April from the Seasons by Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Yes, I see that we have a Daniel is saying, May is his favorite because of memory visiting St. Petersburg during the white night season. Of course, absolutely. Then this is May is another great piece which is also connected with, for me, with my great childhood memories. Also of one of my first performances abroad. So that was in Poland, and it's funny because my teacher, Helena Petrovna, who I was talking like 1 hour ago, she was also talking about the May that she remembers so well. I was playing the May from the Seasons by Tchaikovsky, but also here in this piece, I feel somehow so strong this orchestral approach by Tchaikovsky that, for instance, this is cello for me, and here, this one. Very expressive, with a great sonority, with this very long line, but still somehow it's not, it's something what this flower is just coming out. It's very, it is very new, it's new life, and well, this is a great piece. I see Jeff is asking whether I have recorded the Seasons. No, I have also, to be honest, I did not play all pieces from the cycle, but somehow it's very attractive, especially now when, you know, when there's a certain distance to my childhood experiences with the, because it's first it's a little bit difficult because you still have these memories of, you know, of playing this music being a child, and then it's difficult to find the other values in this music. But now I think it's one of the, it is very beautiful. It's a really beautiful cycle by Tchaikovsky, and I will seriously think about playing it. So this is indeed what I will be seriously thinking about. And yes, Daniel, I have heard Vladimir Manuilovich Trop performing some of the pieces from the Seasons in the concerts, because I was lucky to have to hear some of his concerts as I was still also studying here and also at the Gnesian Academy, and he was playing beautifully, very beautiful Tchaikovsky, and also Rachmaninoff and Scriabin was very amazing. Alexis, Renew of Nature, exactly, this is indeed those magical moments, and it's, for me, it was interesting also to see that many comments are saying that Chopin music, like for instance, I see here the example of first piano concerto, and also some nocturnes, that these Chopin's music also brings some spring association. To be honest, here I'm absolutely probably I'm biased, because I know that Chopin preferred, his favorite season was absolutely, his favorite season was fall, autumn. So somehow for me, I feel his music more, but probably because I read it so many times. So I will definitely think, because I saw comments about first piano concerto, also the F minor concerto was commented as a piece connected with the spring feeling, and I will definitely take this inspiration, and we'll work on finding spring in Chopin's music as well. Well, that's really something. Yes, also Maria, for instance, he is saying the spring in some Chopin is on some fragments of sonatas number 2 and number 3. This is great, indeed a great idea. So I will let you know how it feels like if I find in the third sonata, let's say, some spring feeling for me. Or also Beppe is saying Barceus, Opus 57. Also very interesting thought. Opus 74, number 2. What about waltzes? Marek is asking. Well, yeah, right, of course. I'm telling you that was not my first idea, because somehow for me, yeah, because I know that Chopin admired fall season, somehow spring was, but I'll let you know how it feels like with this new idea, with new thought. Guyana, yeah, I will think about making a stream with the seasons, because it's indeed really great cycle with an amazing expression, I think. Yes, what I was saying about the variety, for instance, Topol was mentioning that Bach's Goldberg variation, reminding him of Japan, because for Japan, spring is the season of farewell or encounter, and although it is sad, it has an exciting atmosphere that makes us accept what will happen. So it's again, you see, it's indeed this mixture of something, of saying goodbye to something from the past, and preparing for something new, something positive in the future. Ivo was saying that Debussy's music reminds him or gives him the spring feeling, which is, Sarah was mentioning Ravel Piano Concerto, which I absolutely agree. Ravel basically, or of course the French composers like Debussy and Ravel are giving this very fresh feeling. And also Alexis is mentioning Ravel G major concerto. It's interesting to see so many Beethoven's 6th symphony, but not only, also of course the Pastoral Sonata by Beethoven, the D major one, and the Frühling Sonata in F major for violin and piano, which is, what do you think? What do you think brings this association of spring in the music? How is it characterized? What is the means which makes you feel, okay, this music makes me think about spring? Can you find a word, or what do you expect from this music? Russians are very pleased to leave the long, very cold winter behind. Definitely, because somehow I think we enjoy very much the warm weather. I love the comment by Bill, who is saying, I listen Pink Floyd in spring and in all the other seasons too. That's a great choice, I think. Pink Floyd is anyway something really which is worth listening. Ryan was saying, because he was actually also mentioning that he is living in a place where it's currently autumn, and he's saying that he's listening to the Irish folk tune, the Silver Spear, which, to be honest, also was very interesting for me to discover. Pavel was saying Metner's Primavera. So that we have such indeed a great variety on different type of music, but of course also the romantic composers like Mendelssohn, Schumann, Schubert are of course also were very much, because somehow this, this reborn is of course a very romantic topic, and Mendelssohn for me was my second thought, to be honest, because basically I very much like music of Felix Mendelssohn, his piano concerto, especially number 1, the D minor trio, but also of course the Lieder ohne Worte, the songs without words, which is already this great idea of letting the piano sing. Let the piano sing without, so that means that we don't need the words, we don't need the voice, we don't need the person, we need the piano and the pianist, that's it. And he composed the Lieder ohne Worte during his entire life in sets. So the one is which I have chosen, which you probably know which one this will be, is the so-called spring song, Frühlingslied. This is from Opus 62, number 6 in A major, the Allegretto Grazioso. So apparently Mendelssohn composed this composition as he was staying in some place in London, and it is known in England as a Camberwell Green, I think. But anyway, it's a wonderful composition because it has a very beautiful melody, which is very simple but full of grazioso. I think is also the very right thing because it's very gracious, it's very elegant. So we have, look. It's very, very gentle, very full of hope, full of good joy, and I see the sun. Says Marek. That to my question for the association with spring. Martin is saying youth, freshness, young plants, and joy after long months of cold. Yes, so I think it is indeed has something to do with very fresh, something very fresh, not so sophisticated, maybe just enjoying the new life. So it's my great pleasure to perform from you the Frühlingslied, the spring song by Mendelssohn from the Songs Without Words, Lieder ohne Worte. Spring song by Felix Mendelssohn, a piece full of gentle expectation of, for me, somehow of something very positive, of something beautiful, something, careless, no troubles on the shoulders, which makes this music also somehow very open, very maybe naive is not quite the correct word, but I think you understand what I mean. Really very positive. Bubble sounds good. Yeah, it's a little bit, can be a little bit, sometimes when the fingers are a little bit lazy, it can really sound like bubble. Well, however, one last piece which I would like also to share with you tonight in the spring topic is Schumann. Robert Schumann, who also composed, of course, first of all, his vocal cycles like Dichterliebe, or this kind of, vocal pieces are very often connected with spring. Not so much the piano pieces, but still I found one. I found one from the Album für die Jugend, album for the youth. You see how many music score I have here. So this is, the album for the youth. Frühlingsgesang is the name of the piece, and it is, again, it starts in a very gentle manner, and then somehow it's like a flower. It opens and it grows, and it's a really, I like this piece very much, so it's a pleasure to share it with you. The Frühlingsgesang by Robert Schumann. Frühlingsgesang by Robert Schumann, and the description of Schumann is innig zu spielen, which is a very, somehow very good description with this insight, feeling, and this, somehow this spring theme is, I don't know, I wanted to, because I was so excited to have finally some sunshine, great sunshine, and good mood, and I wanted to just share some examples of the music, spring music with you, and thanks so much for your thoughts about spring, about the qualities in music which we associate with spring, and we will all listen to that and enjoy it. And that was a really, for me, great moment to be here tonight with you from this place, to have a script stream from this place in Moscow, my special music school called after Nissen, and don't forget to tune in on Saturday night before the Easter Saturday night for the stream with the Wuppertal Symphony Orchestra, where we have performed together the Rachmaninoff Second Piano Concerto, and the link for this stream will be put in the description. And check this place anyway before Saturday, because we will give away a ticket for this stream. So stay here and subscribe this channel if you enjoy our streams. For those who celebrate Easter this Sunday, I wish a peaceful, beautiful Easter Sunday with a nice. Well, I know that it's not easy for many of us because we cannot be all with our families for this day, but I wish you still to have a peaceful Easter Sunday, and I hope very much that the situation will get better soon, and we have this connection all together through music, and I hope that you will also feel it this Sunday. So have a good time, stay safe, see you very, very soon, next Thursday as usual, 7:30 p.m. Central European Time. Bye-bye.